Hello, this is Jennifer Thomas from Pace University, New York City. I am going to be presenting along with my co-author Danielle Morin from Concordia University, Montreal, Quebec. Our third author, Dennis Kira, won't be able to be with us. He's also from Concordia University, Montreal, Canada. We'll be talking about the 3 C's of team building: communication, cooperation, and coordination. And the reason we're interested in this topic is that businesses are saying that the new hires that they're having are very much deficient in these team building skills. And in the field of statistics, they're also recognizing that some of the problems that need to be solved require a team effort. And so we decided to look at this effort and delved further into some of the research and found that students are sometimes resistant to working in teams. They found that the low ability students had the highest preference for learning in teams, while the higher ability students had the least preference. Also, basically, other researchers found that students' preferences do matter. It may also be that longer and greater involvement with team activities will eventually lead to more positive learning outcomes. So for our research question, we looked at what is the relative contribution of the learning components, activities, and resources of the course to the perceived acquisition of team building skills, which we identified as communication skills, team cooperation skills, work coordination, and collaboration skills. The definition we used for team building was based on an instrument that was developed by myself in 2001, and those definitions are also endorsed by other authors. Communication, we are referring to being able to convey ideas effectively, both orally and written. Team cooperation, whereby interpersonal skills in the resolution of differences. Work coordination, bringing together work from multiple sources and team members. The activities that are being investigated have to do with using case analyses, quizzes, practice problems, an ITEC environment where statistical concepts are learned through animation and simulation with Java applets. ISL, which is a self-help facility where randomly generated multiple choice questions and true and false questions are used as practice tools, which are designed to help students learn the course material and to prepare them for the quizzes and the examinations. In terms of resources, they use online textbook, the Question Center, which was both public and private, where students could post and answer questions by students and as well as have instructors respond to them. The website course material that was available to them, the tutorials whereby tutors are given the semester in a face-to-face format, and the eConcordia proprietary content management product. I will now turn the presentation over to my colleague Danielle Morin, who will continue with explaining what the results of the study showed. Thank you very much.
This is Danielle Morin, who will continue with the presentation of results. A survey was conducted in an undergraduate online statistics course in a business school in Montreal, Canada. We can see in Table 1 that 139 respondents with 51.8 male and 48.2% female participated in the survey. The average age was 22.71 years of age. And the majority, about 71.2%, had moderate computer experience, while only 7.9% answered that they had only a minimum work experience. A second part of the analysis was to ask a student to rate what they consider as their perceived contribution of the activities and resources to the enhancement or development of their communication, coordination, and cooperation skills. They had to indicate whether it is a lot, somewhat, or not at all. In the calculation of the mean contribution of the activity or the resource to the skill, a lot was transcribed into a 1, somewhat a 2, not at all a 3. The last column of Table 2 corresponds to the positive contribution of the activity or the resource to the skill. In fact, as we can see, 78.3% is obtained by adding 35.5% and 42.8%. The results of the survey show that case analysis were perceived to assist in the student development of communication skill, work coordination, and team cooperation skills. Only 20.7%, 19.7%, and 27.5% respectively felt that there was no contribution. Because a lot consider equivalent to 1, somewhat to 2, not at all to 3, the lower the mean, the better is the contribution. This is why case analysis was identified, because it had the lowest mean, therefore the highest perceived contribution. On the other hand, ISTAT and the textbook were perceived as fostering neither these building skills. ISTAT was perceived as providing no support to all communication skills by 63.8%, work coordination by 71.1%, and team cooperation by 70.8%. As for the textbook, it was also perceived by 60.4% as not contributing to communication skills, by 51.8% to work coordination, and by 61.3% to team cooperation. Not surprisingly, the quizzes, which are designed to be done individually, likewise were not perceived to contribute to communication skills by 59% of respondents, nor to team cooperation by 64.5%. Team cooperation was also not perceived to be supported by EASL by 58.7% and by practice problem by 54%. Other activities and resources were perceived to contribute moderately to the skills. In conclusion, the results indicate that the types of activities and resources included in an online course are important. Case analysis are essential for fostering the development of team-building skills. ISTAT and the textbook are not being perceived as useful in developing the team-building skills of communication, team cooperation, and work coordination, or sometimes called collaboration. Perhaps more weight should be awarded to the students' effort and better guidance given on how students should use the applets. Instruction need to develop a case or task that require considerable effort for the student to solve and address a number of statistical issues collectively. The low perception of the contribution of the textbook to team building is not surprising, as this generally involves a solitary activity, at least initially. For ISTAT, the poor result could be due to the fact that although ISTAT is a very good learning tool, it is used by students and only contribute to 1% of the total grade in the course. Future enhancement should suggest putting more weights on those efforts and reward the students for trying. Thank you. We certainly hope that you have appreciated this this presentation, we believe that the results we have presented will contribute to the development of online courses and the development of those team building skills so important in our world. From Jennifer Thomas, Daniel Morin, and Dennis Kira, we thank you for your attention.